Kasa Rustica. As promised, we're gonna talk about the debt-free goals video. And the reason why I feel like this is something that I want to share with everyone because there are so many positive things with saying no to debt. I'm just watching your back, and I just want to share with you all kind of what we did as far as debt that really helped us out. But before we get started, I did just want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, commenting, offering feedback. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. We just wanted to say thank you guys. We love you. We hope we keep sharing some content that's helpful to you guys and really makes a difference. So the reason I wanted to make this video was really to get to the core of why saying no to debt really could change your life. Not only change your life, but your future. So the two most important things I wanted to just focus on is when you say yes to debt, you're committing to a long-term contract. And what that contract is you're now having to pay whatever that item costs plus the interest over a long-term stretch. So what's going on is that you have this item that you want, and because you don't have the cash completely up front to purchase the item, but what happens is that you think, oh, that's awesome, I get to take my time paying, but in reality, you're ending up paying either double sometimes of what that item even cost. Many times if you had the full amount of cash on you and you just paid it cash right there, rather than extending that long-term contract, you're gonna save half of that money. So for example, something like when you purchase your home and you now have this loan amount, if you continue to pay your loan within those 30-year stretch, you're gonna end up spending more on the house than what the house originally cost. Other than if you cut it down to 15-year plan and you pay things off quicker, you're actually gonna save quite a large number of money in interest. So it does make a huge difference. So not only are you now paying interest, and at the end of it you're gonna pay double, you're now having to pay monthly payments for this item. So yeah, it might be a necessity. It might, let's say like a washer and dryer. You don't wanna be paying monthly payments on a washer and dryer 15 to 18 months from now. You really don't know what's gonna happen from now to 18 months from now. Let's talk about this whole COVID pandemic thing. Many people have lost their jobs. Many people have had to reduce their hours. Many people haven't had daycare. So to get to work has been a challenge. So if you commit yourself to all this debt for a long stretch of time, 18 months from now, you're binded by that debt. Overall, what debt does is that it controls you. And I think in life, so many things control your life that you don't want money or debt to run your life or run your choices. You want to be able to be financially free. It's okay to use your credit cards if you really need it. But examples like having to finance food, going out to a restaurant and putting $100 on your credit card because you can't afford to pay the $100 up front. Having to pay it up front and getting it over and done with gives you a sigh of relief at night. You're able to sleep at night. You're not having to add more debt on top of your debt. The beauty of it all, you don't have any debt that you're binded to. First steps I would recommend for anybody to do is either get a Credit Karma or Experian.com. It's free. Both of these tools I've used personally, and what they do is that they track your credit. They track whatever is on your credit report. I personally started off with Credit Karma, and what I do is anything that I had on my accounts, I would get the company's number, call them up, and set up some type of plan. So now once you know what you owe in debt, there are two methods. I have the snowball method, and what that is literally like a snowball. So if you have, let's say, 3 different debts, the first debt, that is your smallest debt with the lowest interest, and then you have a medium-sized debt, and then it goes to your largest. You start with your small debt, you pay that off, and whatever payment you are making towards that debt, you're now going to use it to pay off the next largest debt. You tackle this one, pay that off with that extra payment that you were using to pay that first debt, then you move on to the next debt. You use the amounts you were paying for this debt and this debt combined, pay that one off, just paying off your largest. So the second method is called the avalanche method. Whatever debt you have, you're gonna tackle your largest interest debt, possibly your largest payment debt. And then once you get rid of your largest payment with the interest, then you go to your next largest and then trickle down from there. The idea for this one is that you're taking out the largest debt. Pretty much if you continue with it month to month, you're actually gonna spend more money over the long term. So anybody that has a really high interest rate, I would recommend you to kind of look at that one and try to get rid of that debt first so you can get rid of those interests that are really holding you back. What we did was use the avalanche method. We had one debt that had the highest interest. We decided to tackle that debt, pay that whole debt off. So then it left us with the smaller debts, and we were just little by little paying that off. With that large debt that we were paying that monthly payment on anyways, we grabbed that amount and we dispersed it on the other debts that we owed, and it helped pay those off significantly quickly. So the reason why I really stress really trying to say no to debt ultimately leads back to your budgeting methods and how month to month you save and how month to month you say no to certain things, because that's how it starts. It starts with you saying no to these small little things that you do day to day that you love to do. Really, it's kind of a waste of money, because ultimately in life you want to get to those high, really expensive goals that if you don't have the money up front, your interest can really suck up all your money month to month, and then you're just playing catch up. You're living paycheck to paycheck, trying to keep up with all this debt that you have. You don't want that type of lifestyle. We're really grateful that we did the avalanche method. Now we're in that space in our lives that not having to go to bed at night feeling like, oh, we're gonna have to keep working for another 5 years to pay this off and that off. The methods that we use day to day in our living is if we don't have the full amount of cash to fully pay for the expense, we're not gonna do it. That includes vacations, like a refrigerator. We wanna pay off because we don't wanna have to be binded by debt. We wanna own what we own and live a life of feeling stress-free and not have to worry about constant bills. The one thing that I just wanted to read to you guys, Proverbs 22:7, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. It's not about money. You can be rich in many other ways. You can be rich in family, you can be rich in health, you can be rich in gratitude. The richest people in the world won't be happy. Once you start putting these steps in your life and start really saying no to debt, you're really gonna start to see these changes. So I wish you luck. I hope this was helpful. I promise you in the long run, it's really gonna help with your financial future. You're gonna feel less stressed. You're gonna be able to sleep at night, and anything that comes along the way, you'll be financially stable to be able to tackle it on. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you all take away a little bit of something from this. I'm just really thankful that you take the time to watch our videos. See you later, guys.